Jack was excited. He had always wanted to camp in the Redwood Forest. The giant trees, the fresh air, the peace and quiet. It was a dream come true. He unpacked his gear, setting up his tent in a small clearing. The sun was setting, casting long shadows through the ancient trees. A cool breeze rustled the leaves, whispering a welcome to the forest. Jack smiled. This was going to be an adventure. He built a campfire, the flames crackling merrily as they consumed the wood. Jack cooked his dinner, enjoying the simple meal under the vast canopy of stars. The forest was alive with sounds, the chirping of crickets, the hoot of an owl, the rustling of small animals. But Jack felt no fear, only a sense of wonder. He was alone, yet he felt strangely at peace. As the fire died down, Jack decided to turn in for the night. He crawled into his sleeping bag, the soft fabric warm and comforting. He zipped the tent flap shut, feeling a sense of security. The sounds of the forest continued, a lullaby that lulled him to sleep. His dreams were filled with images of giant trees and starry skies. He was happy. He was safe. Or so he thought. The next morning, Jack woke up refreshed. He emerged from his tent, eager to explore the forest. He grabbed his backpack, making sure to pack his camera. He wanted to capture the beauty of this place, to share it with his friends back home. He spent the day hiking, marveling at the towering redwoods. The air was cool and damp, the forest floor covered in a carpet of ferns. As evening approached, Jack decided to head back to his campsite. He wanted to catch the sunset through the trees, to capture the magical light. He set up his camera on a tripod, framing the perfect shot. As he checked the settings, he noticed something strange. There was a figure in the background, a dark shadow partially hidden behind a tree. Jack frowned, confused. He hadn't seen anyone else all day. The forest had been deserted. He looked closer at the image, his heart starting to pound. The figure was tall and slender, its features obscured by the shadows. It seemed to be looking directly at the camera, a sense of malice emanating from its unseen face. Jack quickly scanned the forest, but there was no one there. He was alone. He tried to rationalize the image, telling himself it was just a trick of the light. But deep down, a shiver of fear ran down his spine. He decided to pack up his gear and head back to the city. He had a bad feeling about this. Jack drove to the nearest town, a quaint little place called Willow Creek. He needed answers. He couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong, that he was being watched. He stopped at a local diner, grabbing a quick bite to eat. The waitress was a friendly woman, her face etched with the wisdom of someone who had lived in these parts for a long time. "Excuse me," Jack asked. "Do you know anything about the Redwood Forest? Anything strange or unusual?" The waitress looked at him, her eyes narrowed. "Why do you ask, son?" Jack hesitated, unsure how to explain the strange photo and the feeling of unease that had settled over him. "I was camping there last night," he finally said, "and I saw something odd." The waitress sighed. "The redwoods hold many secrets," she said, her voice low. "There are stories, old stories of things that lurk in the shadows, things that are best left undisturbed." Jack's curiosity was piqued. He thanked the waitress and headed to the town library, hoping to find some information on the forest's history. He spent hours poring over old books and newspaper clippings, his unease growing with each passing moment. The stories he found were disturbing, tales of disappearances, strange lights in the woods, and whispers of ancient rituals.